All right, we are now recording. Let's see, we have minutes from May 20th and August 5th to approve. Have you guys, Mary Bo, have you reviewed those?
I have some notes. I have the minutes typed up for the 20th, and I will to add to our meeting minutes. Someone transcribe them so that we can have a full account of the meeting. So I will get them to you this week, and we can approve them on the next meeting.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
That was for May 20th?
Correct.
Okay. And then what about the August 5th minutes?
I make a motion to approve those minutes for the 5th.
I second.
All right, roll call vote. Mary?
Aye.
Bo?
Aye.
I approve. I as well. So all in favor. Minutes for the August 5th meeting are approved. Then we have a new application for a board member, which, let me pull that up. Elaine, I see Elaine is on here. Hi, Elaine. Did you guys both have a chance to review this application?
I highly recommend her.
I don't know if I've seen what material all of is available. I saw the form, just one attachment. Is that what we have?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't really require much else.
Just breathing.
No, I just wanted to be sure I wasn't missing something.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm going to apologize now. I have a very crabby teething baby, and I'm attempting to not have him scream, but it doesn't appear to be working out well.
What is that?
No worries.
You're apologizing about. I couldn't hear you.
Exactly. Sorry. Hold.
Oh, no, nothing's bothering me. I can hear you fine. I had a thought on, because it's related, for lots of things we discussed before, some plan or discussion of, if not for every meeting or every situation, how we could meet in some form or other in person. I just wanted to talk about that for a minute.
I'm sitting in the meeting room right now. I am here live and in person.
Yay! I haven't been in the town offices yet.
Honestly,
I
not
just
sure what the, like what Evan's whole thing is for boards. I don't, other than the Board of Selectmen, nobody else is meeting in person that I'm aware of.
Well, there's so few of us, and we don't usually have people who come in for a meeting, for anything. We have the room and space. And it's still nice out. We could always figure that out. But even if we could use the selectmen's room and just do it like we do it for the selectmen meeting, since we're such a small board.
And I had another thought. Oh, go ahead. No, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say that we have two other people, Krista and Karen. I think Karen might be on the line now, who also want to become members of the Board of Health.
Hi, it's Karen. Yep, here.
I'm sorry, go ahead, whoever that was.
It's Karen. I just wanted to acknowledge that I am here on the line.
Thank you. Thank you.
Karen.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
This is Bo. This is fantastic. We have interested parties from town in our board. but this prompted me to return to this idea of meeting in person because I would so prefer under any such meeting to meet people physically distant, otherwise, or however, in person rather than only remotely, not knowing them at all otherwise. That's what prompted my revisiting at this moment the meeting in person for whatever purposes and however we might agree.
You know, and on that note too, I'd like to, after speaking with a few of the people who are interested in joining, I'm thinking 7 o'clock for a new hour would work best for everybody that is new, and myself included.
That's possible. Possible for me as well, but I wouldn't be ready to vote on that one right away. I have to
I just
kind of
wanted
think.
to throw it out there.
I appreciate that.
Well, I think that this makes a good segue for the next thing that I was going to bring up. I'm really excited that there are people that want to join. Mary was our last new member. Been pretty much the same. Bo, you've been here for a while. I've come and gone over the years. With that in mind, I have, with my kids going back to school, and this has just been a really long 8 months of basically this being a full-time job on top of my other full-time job. And I'm going to take a bit of time, and I'm going to step down from the board. I just need a break.
Understandable.
So
Mm.
I
Can't even imagine.
this has been a lot, and I just I need to focus on, my kids are going to school full time in person, and I just need to be able to focus on that and work and try to find that balance. And
Good for you, Audra. You got a lot on your plate. That's no
Family
joke.
has to
Having
come
4
first.
kids was hard, but having them all go through this, I can't imagine.
that, and I know, like, you guys want to, I don't want to be the one that says like, well, because I'm honestly, I'm not really, I can't meet in person right now. I'm not going to take my kids to the town offices, and I don't have somebody to watch them during the week, and 7 o'clock is bedtime. So, you know, that those aren't deciding factors, but it just supports my initial thought. My children are screaming at each other upstairs. So this, we'll have to figure out who you guys want to do as chair, and I'll stay on until you have other members up and running, at least one, because you're not a board with just 2. And so but if you want to marry Bo, I'm not sure which one of you, if you want to talk about the chair position.
Oh, Bo.
Oboe? I used to play the
Go
clarinet,
for
but
sure.
I don't know if I'm oboe. Audra, you know, so much, yeah, absolutely. I have so much appreciated your membership, both personally, getting to know you, your input, and practically speaking, for the board. I mean, one of the biggest assets is just has been your knowledge of the town offices, and everybody. And I'm not sure how we're going to make up for that, but anyway, going ahead, and I sure appreciate your saying that you stay for a while till we get things on a good footing. So, very much.
Yeah, you know,
Around for Audra. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'll be back. You know, like I said, this isn't a permanent. I just need a break. I don't know how long, but I need
Uh-huh.
a deep breath. You know, a good long deep breath. So.
Oh yeah, you expanded your family in our presence, and it's been awesome. It's been awesome. I certainly hope it's going to continue at some point as you decide.
And I'm still around. And I told Autumn and Lori, if they need something, they know where to find me. I'm always willing to help. you'll see me here and there on meetings or in meetings if I get a chance to come down to one. But that's kind of where I'm at, and that was my big news.
Yeah, that's going to be good having that you're around. It's not like you're leaving town if you're willing to be consulted, even if it's not officially at a meeting. Otherwise, I'm consoled with that news. Yeah.
yeah, I like.
I got one last mission that if you would accept it, it would be awesome.
Ooh, what's that?
The food pantry has lost their spot at the Masonic Lodge or whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd mentioned that they'd spoke with Evan a couple times on maybe securing a location at in the town hall, some space.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's like, apparently, I don't know if he was willing. It sounds to me like he was. I would be willing if we have the okay for it. I would be okay with assisting them with that, and doing what needs to be done, setting them up or whatever.
Okay.
But I know he's been busy too, and they don't want to bug him because they know he's there's a lot going on.
Okay.
So I figured we could bug him.
Let me work on that. I'm not entirely sure where we would put it in the town offices, but let me think on it. And because I know him and I had a conversation about this. Actually, when we got some grant money from Holistic, we had talked about the food pantry and their building needs. And I knew there was another location that we had talked about. So let me circle back around and talk to him. We have some personnel stuff going on today, and by the end of the week, I should be able to have a conversation with him about it. But yeah, I'd be happy to help try to find them a new home. Are they completely vacated from that location now?
Yeah, I think they're out of there. I think it worked kind of funky with all that power going out. And, all the people who got their food stamps or whatever the name is that they call it now, they got them on the first of the month. We had that storm, and they all went shopping once a month because they don't want to go to the stores, and everybody was without food, and it was a pinch. They need something,
Okay.
And yeah, money is an issue. They were only paying 100 and something there, but they're not making money.
What is the space that they need? Like, do you know?
It's not too much, Audra. They need a refrigerator for the refrigerator and freezer, and then some shelves. But it's a constantly changing inventory, so it's not a ton of space. Maybe an old jail cell.
Okay. And is it Memorial Hall basement? And
That's what I'm thinking.
Is it a place that people are going to come in and shop, or is it just a place that the people that work package the food up for delivery?
That's what I understand. It may be a person coming to get a box, but I think it's more just coordinating and putting together the deliveries.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I will work on that and
Awesome.
see what we can come up with.
Cool.
So Elaine,
What kind of, you go ahead, Audra.
I was just gonna say, Elaine, I'm reading over your application here, and I'm really excited to have you on with. You have some great background, and
Thank you.
I don't remember where I had food from Jam for Time, but I did, and I remember
Summerfest.
But it must have been Summerfest. You're not operating anymore? That was
No, actually, we've sold the food truck. If you ever see Off the Hook, it's a seafood food
okay.
truck. It's the same truck, same trailer.
Excellent.
And Elaine has been helping me out at the swap shack. I would have been lost without her with my work schedule.
Nice. Excellent. So how do you guys want to approve her application tonight? I think that, she's been on every meeting for the past, I don't know, 3 months maybe that I can remember. definitely has had the attendance, obviously has internet capabilities, has a lot of qualifications, warm body, desire to volunteer. I mean, you got people stepping up right now that want to be on the Board of Health. That's pretty impressive.
We do have good people in town, and I would make the motion, yes, to include Elaine on our committee, our board.
Yeah, I want the in-person. I just I hope no one's offended, especially Elaine. I just have this lingering thing, regardless of anyone, however, wherever, that I'm really feeling the loss of in-person meeting. Excuse me. And personally, the only thing I know about Elaine is your guys' enthusiasm, which certainly ranks high with me, and the application you put in, which I like, being an RN also, and the similar but different backgrounds and all. Very cool. But I am still just feeling in general that, loss of in-person, meeting, not just for applicants' sake, but certainly in that regard too, because that's what got me to bring that up right away in this meeting, revisit that at least as much as we have. And I don't have Zoom. I just don't have a camera on my monitor. So I know I'm fine with Zoom. I've used it with my wife's laptop occasionally when I need it related to job things. So I don't have an alternative immediately available all the time there either. And we'll be going to be happily going forward with more interested applicants, perhaps. So I'm rambling around with this, and I'm just hesitating. Let me ask the rest of the board regarding Elaine. Audra or Mary, do you know her personally?
Mary
Other
is
than
the one,
regard to
I'm
this
the one
applicant.
who approached her, Bo, and asked her months ago if she would be interested in joining us,
Mm-hmm.
because she is such an upstanding, good citizen. And same with the other two people that I've also included in our meetings. So I personally recommend them. That's why I asked them to join us.
So that's a big plus for me, not knowing anything other than the single applicant simple form that we had there. So that counts big with me, Mary. That's what I wanted to hear.
Thanks, Bo.
Yes. Inside stuff coming from you, that goes far.
All right.
What was my other thought? We do, we'll get to it. There's after our recommendation, an appointment to the Board of Health goes to the Board of Select People. And there's something else in between there. There's the open meeting law. What else do we have there? And is Elaine aware of these steps and prepared for them? Not that that open meeting law thing's kind of rigorous, but there is more to this process than our recommendation. And I didn't have a chance to pull up that stuff, but certainly Elaine should be appraised of it. And I don't think she'll be daunted by it. And I would like to review that process too. We'll get a chance to do that now, more than once, hopefully, coming up. Over. Anybody else comment on that or information?
So the process is that we vote to have somebody appointed to the Board of Health. I will then take that vote and appointment and Elaine's information if she's approved. If it's a the selectmen, the Board of Selectmen will vote to appoint her at the next meeting, and then she will get sworn in by the town clerk. She will have to do the ethics training, and And then I don't think that there's like an official open meeting law training, but there's definitely open meeting law booklet that you read and you want to be familiar with.
Yeah, something online, I think you do with the open meeting law.
Okay.
I did anyway.
It's been a while since I've done one. So,
Yeah.
then you come to meetings. Then yeah, the conflict of interest is the other one, but it's really
Yeah, I just forgot the specifics, but they are very important. They're not just procedural, things on a paper. We have ourselves question different things on a regular basis based on each one of those state requirements, because in fact, as Elaine may know or has been pointed out, we are an all-volunteer board. There is no compensation. This goes into the conflict of interest stuff too, and it does come up. And we really behooves us to be acutely aware of that document and its regulatory effect on us, a direction for us, and also that even though we are volunteer and appointed rather than elected, we are town employees. There are things like this that should definitely be clear for someone coming on the board, and some of these things I learned along the way too, and that's fine. I want to ask Elaine, if I may, about availability and meeting times. You heard Mary just brought up a suggestion that we change to 7 p.m. Regardless of those kind of details, I'm just wondering what kind of availability Elaine has for our meeting times. Go ahead.
Well, I'm retired, so I'm pretty much available. I do winter in Florida, December to April. So I could, if you could include me in with a Zoom meeting, that would work. Outside, what you had brought up earlier, the information on open meetings and the ethics committee, all that was outlined in what Autumn had sent me.
yep.
So
Good.
I am aware of that. The only other, and I'm probably way ahead of myself bringing it up, I have had a food truck in the past. I may have something similar in the future, but at this present time, I do not. And I'd be willing to abstain from anything, obviously, that in the future that might directly affect myself.
Yeah, we don't need to address that now, but thank you for saying that. Not an issue currently, and as things like that have come up with us or people we know, lots of times, all the time, we just take it as it goes.
Okay.
And it would be the same.
But I mean, I wanted to be open and honest about it, not have it come about in 6 months or 9 months as a total surprise.
Appreciate it.
Didn't think of it myself. That raises another thought. I'm just full of associate thoughts tonight. Elaine talking about being in Florida and joining a Zoom meeting. I don't see any problem with that, but that raised that question. Let's say we were meeting in person, and I've raised this before. This is contained in, or we ask our, I don't know which one of those 3 regulatory things covers it, but there are specifics about, let's say we were meeting in person, the board as it existed in any such time that this became an issue, and one of the board members wanted to participate into that otherwise in-person meeting remotely. There's some rules about that. Something we could look at if it came up, and just to mention it.
What those rules are, Bo. So as it stood before COVID-19, anybody can remote into a meeting. And the only difference was you could not share a meeting remotely. So if you guys were in person and I wanted to remote in because I was away, somebody there would have to run the meeting as the chair. I would
Oh.
not be able to
Yeah.
chair for the
Uh-huh.
meeting remote. However, a lot of that changed when they changed the open meeting laws um, because of COVID. So that specific detail, I had asked Evan, and he was unsure of how that detail was affected, and I am unsure of how that detail was affected. Mary Watson was unsure. So we can certainly send a message to the state about it and get a ruling from them, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of information available about that specific change. But you can,
Thank you. And not an issue immediately regarding Elaine and our consideration for the board. No, that just I was reminded of that, and
yeah,
it
basically,
might come up.
basically
Yeah.
anybody can remote in. It's encouraged that you remote in, and there's no, until they make any other changes, there's no change to the chair because, if you can remote in, obviously I'm chairing the meeting now and I'm remote, so I don't see why that would change if you guys were in one place and I was still remote. If I was staying on, but
Yeah. That sounds good, workable, and not an immediate issue. And I was wondering in that regard too, just to wrap that subject up for you. How about attendees if a meeting is being done in person? There was something that came up. We'll get back to it, but I was thinking of that aspect of the board. Let's say we at some time coming up decided to meet in person under some acceptable venue and legal one, etc. One of our concerns might be attendees, and how do we have additional people join us here? Can they attend remotely if we were having an in-person meeting? I think they could.
yes, you still would be required to provide a remote option because
That's the thing.
it is still
We'd have to provide something. Yeah. Okay, that's good. We've taken up enough time with that as far as I'm concerned since I introduced it. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be bold if anyone else, if there's no further discussion, I will
have
make
one more
a
thing,
motion.
Bo.
Go ahead.
I am at the Swap Shack 11 to 1. And if that, I could certainly meet with you then or any other time you wish, if you would feel more confident.
Yeah, thank you. There's, that would raise procedural issues amongst all of these things we've been talking about. And if I thought that it necessary to meet in person for Mike to decide on a vote, prior to that, that's the next thing I would have brought up, that we'd have to be careful that was a legal meeting of one person with even a prospective applicant. So, if I thought that, and that's something that the board, I think, even tonight, in regard to other interested parties, we might just mention and visit, like how to solve that problem if any one of us wanted in person, but we weren't set up as a board to do in person. So we're going to go ahead with that. If not tonight, at a future date. If I may, I will go ahead with making a motion that the board tonight recommend Elaine to the board.
We already have
people.
a motion on the table.
I'll second that.
Mary already made a motion to approve Elaine's application for membership on the Board of Health. So if you want to second that, we can second.
I second it.
Okay. Then we will do a roll call vote. This is going to be much more interesting to do a roll call vote when there's more than 3 people, because, you have somebody makes somebody seconds the vote. Very rarely do either of them vote against it, but whatever. So roll call vote to approve Elaine's application to join the Monson Board of Health. Mary, your vote?
Yes.
Bo, your vote?
Yes.
I, Audra, am a yes as well. All approved. Elaine, congratulations. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
As we pass in the round door, you coming in, me going out, but I'll see you around. I won't be
Great.
far. I will pass this on to the Board of Selectmen. Typing an email now, and
They're jerks. They may not approve it.
it's true. That's what I heard. Wow. That's not true. Doc Smith is a lovely man.
Yeah, I thought Mary might not approve it. No.
Excellent. And then Karen and Annette, is Annette the other person that's interested in joining?
Actually,
Christina,
I'm just visiting, thank you.
Oh, hi. Well, excellent. Welcome.
Yeah, I've been
Welcome.
meaning to, thank you. I've been meaning to pop in, especially with Zoom. It makes it so easy. I see everyone's hiding, so I'm hiding too, since I'm dressed for Monson.
I'm not hiding. I'm just here looking at myself here, staring at but
I do a lot of teaching over Zoom and a lot of meetings over Zoom, so I look much better in the morning.
I have a run and workout as soon as we're done here, so hence my attire. All right.
And
So
I'm 6 feet tall and I look like a model and I don't like to make people jealous.
that's factual. It's factual. Oh, my dogs are gonna bark. So I will send that. Karen, if and when you decide that you want to move forward in the process, you can just contact Autumn and she can get you, if she hasn't already, the same application and information that she sent over to Elaine.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I will seek out that application and associated information.
Okay, excellent. Then Mary, you want to do some, so I had Autumn put Swap Shop updates on here because I saw that it was up and running. I did not know it was up and running because we hadn't talked about it, but then I saw a post on Facebook. So can you give us some updates on what's going on?
Not much. We just kind of, I got permission to open it at whatever point it was a while back. And it's been good. It's been, steady, a little busier actually than last year. Elaine is a clean freak, an organizer freak, so that kind of helps things out a lot. A lot of new faces. I really need to address the Facebook page because it is awful and I'm not good at it. So we're going to be doing a kids clothing drive again this year. And I was trying to rook in Crystal Rondo and her daughters. I was actually trying to get her daughters to take it on. And I'm waiting to hear back from her. She was into it, but she wanted to check the daughters because they've actually done something similar before. So if they're willing to take that and run with it, I'm sure it'll be better than what I did last year. And otherwise, yeah, it's just the same old hot, sweaty, dirty little swap shack.
I just wanted to mention in the course of late spring to summer, attendance or clients, what have you, have varied from a high of 17 to a low of about 3 or 4. 3 or 4 being during the very hot dog days of summer.
That's awesome. I'm super excited that it's getting a lot of use. One of the things we have to look at is we found out for the RFP grants that, no, not RFP, RDP, Recycling Dividend Program, RDP grants, way too many acronyms on this board. You will that the swap shop, in order to get the point for that, you now have to operate it year round. It didn't used to be like that.
Oh,
It used to be we're going to have to think about some heating or some fancy, maybe we operate it on like a sign up in the cold months, like if like as needed basis or something like
Yeah.
that. you might just want to just start thinking about that because we do have to operate it year round now. And if we do,
I actually have been doing that, Audra. I have been meeting with people, all winter long. If somebody needed something
Yep.
or had something, I was in and out of there. So we have been doing it that way.
okay, so at least that way you don't have to, nobody has to stand there in the freezing cold in the middle of December. And we really only have to do it once a month. So we could go down, are you doing it every weekend now?
We are.
Okay.
Well, it's nice out, but yeah, in the winter, I was probably up there maybe once or twice a month in the season when we were not open. I was probably switching stuff around for people or getting something for somebody. So yeah, it was at least once a month.
I would say I would call that open then, and that should be
Yep.
fine. They gave us the credit this year, but told us basically it has to be open year round. So I think, you know, once a month at least is fine. And if you're doing it on an as needed basis, then I think you'll be great. And then, are you guys, after people come in, and are you wiping things down and sanitizing and, you know, that kind of stuff? Limiting the amount of people that are in the building at the same time?
Yeah, there's never usually more than one group there at a time.
Okay.
One family.
Definitely wearing masks. We've had people approach without masks. And when I'm there, I've said, wearing one myself.
Okay.
Masks, I don't say required, I say strongly suggested. We are a Board of Health function.
Okay.
And I've had no resistance.
Okay. Excellent. Then, yeah, that's really, I'm glad it's been busy. I keep meaning, what are your hours? Maybe we should, we should have Evan put something out, or have Autumn. Actually, Mary, can you send the hours of operation and all that to Autumn in an email so that she can?
Yeah, they have to get changed, that's for sure. Yeah.
I'd like to get it out. I know you have, like, you're doing your own Facebook thing, but I really using the town Facebook page is really good. We have a lot of followers, and we reach a really, a wide variety of residents. So definitely Autumn has posting abilities on there, so she can put the info out. And then that'd be good. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll email her tonight with the new hours.
Okay. All right. Then I lost my agenda here. Hold on. And that was it. The only other thing on the agenda is adjourn. Does anybody?
Can I ask a question? Yeah.
Certainly, Bo. Go for it.
Oh, yeah. I'll make this meeting go as late as I can. No, I won't.
You just don't want to let me go. That's it, isn't it?
We were talking about that's it. As a matter of fact, if we're voting on going, I'm opposed. So anyway, those PVC Pioneer Valley grant funds, what became of that? If they were to be utilized by the end of last month, did we have to pass on that? Oh, Laurie's not here, so.
Yeah, I think we'd have to ask. I talked to Lori. I think she did order some supplies, a couple of things.
I hope so.
Yeah. So, and I think there was a couple of sanitizer stands that were ordered, and a couple, but that was, there was an extension. That's what it was. I knew there was something. There was an extension that Pioneer Valley Planning Commission applied to the state for an extension on expenditures, and they were granted the extension, which meant that all of those were granted. So we have it into December.
When is the new extension until? I'm sorry?
December 31st.
December?
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, end of the calendar year.
See, I just want to make a note of that. I'm sorry, what did you say, December 31st?
Yes.
Yeah, December 31st. Okay, yeah, because I'd like to revisit that, certainly. Okay, we'll get Laurie on as soon as we can, and we'll pursue that. As a matter of fact, it could go on the agenda. Oh, and speaking of that, what's the next meeting
Well,
time.
before we do the next meeting time, I would like to make a motion that we appoint Bo as the chair, starting at the next meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay.
I'll try to do that, and
Bo, I'm
like,
taking the crown off and passing it back to you. There you go. There's your crown.
Oh,
It may have gotten some thorns in it over the year. It's been a bit rough.
and it comes with a pay raise, Bo.
Yeah, it does. It does.
well, you know, I have a few issues with that. As a matter of fact, here's one that's not entirely facetious either, so that our other listeners will know this is not facetious. The rest of you know that this is definitely a real possibility, but not impending immediately by any means. But if I'm still officially a legal resident of Monson, can I participate remotely from Hawaii?
Wow.
We'll look into that.
You.
We'll look into that.
Depends. Are you moving to Hawaii?
No,
You're just going
Not-
to.
I'm not intending to become a resident, but I will be there more and more, not all that long in the future.
Okay. Just
After the first of the year is what it looks like mostly. So this time we're not, just something to.
Yeah.
I said, now seemed to. Speaking of segues, now seemed a good segue to just mention that.
and then there
We'll look
was
into it.
Mary.
Right?
um,
Will be.
so
Cross that bridge when we get to it.
the if it's not children screaming, it's dogs barking. I apologize. My house is
Bless you.
So Bo, what I wanted to say was just keeping in mind, the whole with Vicky, when Vicky moved, she kept her property in town, but she was not residing in it. But if you're if you're going to be a back and forth thing, I think that might be a different, that's more like Elaine was saying, that she winters in Florida. And I think that
Your residency is here.
It'd be the same sort of thing at this point.
Okay. All right.
We'll get back to that. I have there's nothing on the table here in the family specifically, but it with Wendy's situations at the homestead there, she's not moving at this point, and Mika's never gonna move. So, and as far as we know, it's more and more of something that we're looking at and is occurring. You might recall Wendy was gone due to the family issues and loss of her mom back in April. That Mika and I came back, but Wendy didn't come back here till August 1st, so we're just dealing with all this now. It's all settled out for now. So I just threw it out on the table. No concern in the near term. So enough of that.
Okay, so our vote for Chair, Bo, your the motion on the table is to approve you as the chair starting at the October meeting. How do you vote, Bo?
October, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Am I going to second that? Or?
Nope, you just need to vote on it. Mary, I made the motion, Mary seconded.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Aye.
Mary, your vote?
I
vote aye as well. So I'll remain on probably through the end of October, but kind of just in the background. If you need me, you know how to reach me, you know where to find me. In pretty much
where you live.
Exactly, pretty much all of my dwellings. I have enjoyed working with you guys. This has been a really, really hard year. And I think that, yeah, I think that it's been a really hard year. And I think that I just, like I said before, I just need
It
to,
has.
yeah, I think that we've done a lot of really great work together. The plastic bag ban, or the styrofoam ban, maybe looking at the plastic bag ban down the road. I would still love to do that. You know, I think we've done a lot of great community outreach stuff, and yeah, I will be around. So thank you, Elaine.
Fabulous. Not the least of which was the COVID's requirements and stresses. I think we did well as a board, and Audrey just really done outstanding with that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bo. You know, it's so before I get all emotional, I'm it's not an easy decision for me. So, all right, anything else for tonight?
See, in the old days, so to speak, geez, the old days with Wayne Yee and et cetera, and Claire, we'd all be immediately, we'd adjourn and we all immediately head for the Horizon restaurant, you know,
Yeah.
as a group, which
Well-
always made people nervous till they got used to it. Said, hey, the Board of Health is walking in here.
Yep. That's all right. Laura, I'm friends with Laura who owns Maria's, and I think she likes that. I think she
Yeah.
likes to eat there regularly.
Next meeting, do we want to set a specific date in
You guys,
October, we think?
we've been doing the first Wednesday of the month, but if you guys want to change that, you certainly are welcome to do so.
Well, let's pick a date first. Mary mentioned the time change, and I don't know if we want to tackle that simultaneously. And that can change all the time. We don't like to change things because of our public PR and just protocol. We don't want to be all over the board, even with times. But let me give me a second to look at the calendar, and you guys talk about that. Just a second. I'll be right back.
Bo.
Where are you going, Bo? Oh,
Not love, Bo.
no, Bo.
Oh, the first Wednesday is the first. Oh, no, the 7th.
The 7th. I'm just gonna prop mine up here on my calendar. Yeah, it would be the 7th of October.
What time do we like?
Why don't we try the 7, and why don't I check into the meantime to see if we can do it in the selectmen's room? For those wishing to attend in person.
Yeah, we look into that, and if Audra's being contacted or whatever, also we'd have to see about being remote there, which shouldn't be a problem anyway. Aside from that, Wednesday the 7th is good with me, and 7 p.m. is good because this is my first night off after long night shifts, so I'm usually short on sleep here.
Good.
I think that it might work out for you guys because I think that Autumn will probably continue to be remote, and I think that if she opens the meeting on Zoom and runs it, and you guys log in and like with you know where you are, and then it runs that way, I think it'll be fine.
Okay, we'll work on that in the meantime. I'm Wednesday, October 7th, 7 p.m. is good with me. Any other discussion?
Do we need to check with Lori?
With Lori?
Yeah. Is that necessary?
No,
Or-
not usually. Lori's
okay.
pretty, if you're not changing the day of the week, and if she can't make it, she can't make it. A lot of times, if she can't make a meeting because she has another meeting, then she'll just usually send her updates through Autumn. I knew neither of
Okay.
them were going to be available tonight. But all right. All right, so you guys will meet on Wednesday, October 7th at 7 p.m. As of now, we'll plan that you guys, whoever wants to meet in person in the selectmen's meeting room can do so. It will still be a Zoom meeting as well, because that needs to be an option available to residents and anybody else who doesn't want to meet in person. So unless find out that that's not an available option, then it'll be completely Zoom again. But we'll have Autumn look into that too, or let you guys know. Mary, when you find out, you can just let Autumn know what the location will be.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
I make a
Motion to adjourn.
Second it.
All right.
Second,
Awesome.
and welcome, Elaine.
Welcome, Elaine.
Welcome,
you.
Elaine.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Lovely
Bye
meeting
for now.
everybody. Congratulations, Elaine.
Thank you.